Alright, you guys, this is geometry. We're going to do exterior angle theorem here. So, for these problems, I forgot to turn the thingy on. I know, right? Okay, there we go. Alright, so let's take a look. There we go. All right, so for these ones right here, we're going to take a look at a couple things. With the exterior angle formula, it says right here, determine the measure. Determine the measure of x and y for DEF. So for the exterior angle theorem, we have a special way of doing these. Now, we have to categorize either inside or outside. So inside the triangle, so I'm going to have inside, it's going to be 69. I'm going to have 54. On the outside, I'm going to have, say y. Y. Very good. So we have y on the outside and we have x on the inside. So we know that these two angles right here have to add up to 180, right? Because that's a straight line. These two together have to add up to 180. But these right here, all three, also add up to 180. But for my formula that I have, it's going to be these ones right here. Let's do the math. These three, this, and this have to add up to 180. So I'm going to do that math first. So I'm going to say that 54 plus 69 plus x equals 180, right? We went over this the other day, the interior angle theorem for the triangle, because all three have to add up to 180. So, do the math. So, 54 and 69 gives me 123. Plus x equals 180. Now what do I do?
Divide by
120. No. Subtract. Very good. So, I'm going to subtract 123. So, I get x is... So x is going to be 57. So that one there is going to be 57 degrees. Now, again, we said that x and y, being a straight line, has to add up to 180, right? Okay, so we're going to do this to add it up to 180. So now, this one and this one, so now I have 57 plus y equals 180. Right? Okay, what do I do?
Subtract.
Very good, subtract 57. So y is, what is it? 123, very good. So y is going to be 123. Now, for what we're doing here, let me fill in my blanks. 57 degrees, 123 degrees. Now, I'm going to show you guys something, and this is how we use the exterior angle theorem. So, this one here plus this one here has to equal this one here. So, let's see. So, 54 plus 69 has to equal 123. So using the exterior angle, so these are called remote interiors, and this is on the outside, so it's called my exterior. So 54 plus 69 is going to give me 123 equals 123. So this one here is how we do these things right here. So we know that these two together have to equal the outside. Okay? These are called the remote interior. So here's the whole formula right here. So the measure of each exterior angle of a triangle is equal to the sum of the measures to two remote interior angles. So now, my remote interior angles here, this is going to be A and B. And that's going to be equal to C because C is on the outside. That's very important that you identify these. Okay? Any questions before I go on to the next part? I think this will make a whole lot of sense when we actually get to the practice on this, because right now it's just formula. Alright, so let's take a look at this one. Now, these are my two remote interior angles, right? So if I'm using this formula, it's supposed to be 16 plus 48 equals x, right? So let's see, 16 plus 48 equals x. So x equals 64. We're just combining those, right? So x is going to equal 64 here. So 64 degrees. What could we do to check our answer?
You can add all together.
How do we do this one over here with the x and y? This one right here, to check the answers right here, see this? To check this answer, don't these two together have to add up to 180? Okay, what can we do to check our answer for this one? We know what this one is here, right? Can we figure out what this one is?
Yes.
Yes, we could. We could figure out what this one is here. So 180 minus 64 gives me,
116.
what is it?
116.
116. So this piece is 116. And we know that all three of these angles together oops. Someone swiped all my colored pencils, so kind of salty about that. It was you? All right. All three of these angles together have to do what? Very good. They all have to add up to 180. Let's see, do they? So it would be 116 plus 16 plus 48 supposed to equal 180. Let's see if it does. Combine all those together. Y'all got calculators right there, right? Josue, you get this right, and I might let you go.
Yep.
Oh, it is. So you're saying that 180 equals 180, right? So were we able to check our answer?
Yes.
Yes. Because we know that all three insides have to equal 180, and just do the math to try and figure out the rest. Okay, so that's one way of checking our answer. Okay, so now, for this right here, we have the outside angle, right?
Yep.
This one's on the outside, this one's on the inside. Isn't this one also, this my other remote interior?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so if this is another remote interior, if I don't know this one, I'm just going to call it one angle F. So I know that my two remote interiors have to equal my exterior, right?
Yes.
So I'm going to say that 36 plus angle F equals 58. So I'm using my formula that I have here. My outside angle is equal to the sum of my two remote interiors. So we're doing the exact same thing. So I have, go ahead, I have my two remote interiors, and they have to equal to the exterior. So if I'm doing my math, I'm trying to solve for angle F, what would I do to both sides here?
Subtract 36.
Subtract 36, let's do that. So angle F is
22.
22 degrees. So is that easy? So we could even solve inside angles if we have enough information. Pretty easy, right? Okay, so I'm going to put 22 degrees right there. Okay, so let's take a look at our practice that we're going to do on this. Now, so on number 1, everyone's looking at number 1 right now, please. So what angles are my remote interior? T and we're on number 1, right? Number 1. I'm looking at 1, right? T is a remote interior, and U is the other one, right? Okay, so to solve for that one, that means that V is my
Exterior.
very good exterior. So the V is the exterior. So how would I set this up to solve for this?
1, no.
So 50 plus
Angle U
U.
equals 120.
Very good. Okay, I'll let you guys do that. Now, what about number 3? What about number 3 here?
No. 7.
Which ones are my interior on number 3?
S and T.
Very good. S and T are my interior. So that means that U is my exterior, right? So how would I set that up? Equals. They just call it angle U. It's not 180 because it's the remote exterior angles. Exterior angle. Does that make sense?
So we're just finding out the unknown.
Yep. Now, let's take a look at number 9. Now, which ones are my remote interior on 9?
P and O. And P and Q.
P and Q, right? Is everyone paying attention here?
Yes.
Okay, so this is actually going to be one of the harder ones, and you're going to see something like this on the test. So, these two are my remote interior, right?
Mm-hmm.
So those two together have to equal
8 plus 6x.
8 plus 6x. So my equation is going to be 30 plus 4x plus 2 equals 8 plus 6x. So now I have an equation here, don't I?
Mm-hmm.
First step,
Combine term.
combine or simplify, right? So how many do I have over here? I should have 32 plus
4x.
equals, bring this down, 8.
Plus 6x.
Now what are you going to do?
Subtract.
You want to subtract?
Yeah.
What are you subtracting? Subtract 4x, okay. So you're going to have 2x.
Plus 8 equals 32.
Now what do I do?
Subtract 32.
Subtract 8 now, right? Very good. Subtract 8. So I should get 24 equals 2x.
12 equals x.
Divide by 2.
12.
X equals 12. So we could do this using algebra. Okay, you could, they're not always just going to be a simple number. You're going to have equations and expressions. Now, make sense? Okay, I'm going to give you this time right now to actually solve for this. Use the time to finish up your practice. And don't forget, like and subscribe, right?